Puss in Boots by Lorraine McCombs. Once, long ago, there was a miller who had 3 sons. When the miller died, he left all that he had to them. The oldest son got the mill and lands. The second got the herds of sheep and cows. The youngest, Juan, was left with only a few coins and the yellow green-eyed cat that lived at the mill. Close read. Visualize details. Highlight the words that help you picture what the cat looks like. Herds. Groups of animals of one kind feeding or moving together. "Oh, Puss, what shall we do?" moaned Juan. "Do not worry," the cat said. "We shall get by." Juan's eyes grew big. A talking cat was a good sign. Juan smiled at his good fortune. "Juan," said Puss, "buy a sack and a pair of boots for me." Juan, a poor man, looked at the cat and then the coins in his hand. Those things were expensive. The coins were all the money he had. "Trust me," said Puss. Close read. Compare and contrast stories. Compare and contrast this story and the story of a gazelle. Underline 2 details that are nearly the same in the 2 stories. Expensive. Costing a lot of money. Puss had always been a smart cat. Juan decided he could trust him. Off he went to buy the things for Puss. Soon, Juan returned with the boots and sack. The cat put on the boots, took the sack, and asked Juan to wait by a tree. Close read. Compare and contrast stories. Underline a detail that's different in the 2 stories. Puss knew where there were plenty of rabbits. He put grain into the sack and went to the rabbit hole. He opened the sack and then hid near some bushes. Soon, 2 fat rabbits hopped out of the hole and into the sack to eat the grain. Puss quickly grabbed the sack, closed and tied the opening, and went off to see the king. Close read. Visualize details. Highlight the words that help you picture how Puss caught the rabbits. Puss bowed low and said, "Your Majesty, my master offers you these 2 fine rabbits." The king gave Puss money for the rabbits. He said, "Tell your kind master I would like to meet him one day." Puss brought the money back to Juan. That night, Juan was able to pay for food and a place to sleep. Close read. Bowed. Bent the head or body in greeting. Puss told Juan that the king wished to meet him. Juan pointed to his clothes and said, "I can't meet the king in these rags." "I have a plan for that. Jump in the river," said Puss. He knew the king would be walking by the river that day. When the king arrived, Puss shouted, "Your Majesty, come quick! My master has been robbed of his fine clothes and thrown into the river." Close read. Compare and contrast stories. Compare and contrast this story and the story of a gazelle. Underline a detail that is nearly the same in both stories. When the king rescued Juan from the river, he said, "I'm glad to meet the fine master of the talking cat." Then he invited Juan to come live in his castle and share his kingdom. Juan gladly accepted. Even Puss got his own special room fit for a royal cat. Close read. Compare and contrast stories. Compare and contrast this story and the story of a gazelle. Underline a detail that is different in this story.